Back on top of the NFC North, a good day for the Chicago Bears with a big, convincing victory over the very bad Cleveland Browns. Hoge Jahns is here to talk about it live on YouTube on a Monday morning. Let's get going right now. What's up? Welcome. Good morning. Live on YouTube. Hoge Jahns. We're back. The Bears are back. Their 10th win of the season.
Wow.
So I'd like to issue an apology to the Bears and Bears fans because I technically right about my prediction at this moment, but anticipate I am going to be wrong. Because I picked them to win 10 games, and we're here on December 15th. So good job by Ben Johnson and everybody involved.
With this win, they've already surpassed my expectations for this team. My 9-8 prediction, which I thought that was an optimistic prediction to begin with, but boy, have I been wrong. The Ben Johnson effect is very much real.
Yeah, it's and yesterday was in many ways what I was kind of, I don't know if I quite expected to be that big of a blowout, but I don't know. It's kind of, and we're going to get into it. Wasn't all good the entire time. And there's a couple of injuries we got to talk about, obviously, most notably Rome Odunze going down right before the game again. But you look up at the scoreboard, 31-3, taking care of business against a team that you should take care of business against. That's what good teams do. So overall, that's what you want to see. Very good win for the Bears. And then you sit back and do the scoreboard watching that we talked about, and a lot of things that we have to get into played out to not only put the Bears back on top of the North, but further open the door of opportunity here to stay at the top of the North, despite the fact, Johns, that with these 3 games to go, the Bears have the hardest remaining schedule in the NFL. That according to Steve Kornacki, who never lies.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you have to call Greg Braggs on this one, who is apparently our now expert playoff analyst. Or he gets the scenarios quite correct now, which is hard to believe. I can't even articulate how crazy that is. So anyway.
Well, it's because it's all he thinks about.
He goes to bed thinking about it, wakes up thinking about it, maybe even dreams about it.
When he was a young Greg Braggs Jr., if he cared about math as much as he cares about Bears playoff scenarios, he would have been like a calculus major. You know, you got to have passion in what you're studying. So it may sound weird that he's, trying to be Steve Kornacki and looking at all these scenarios. This is why we call it brickolytics. It's brickolytics, and brickolytics is real. So if he cares about it that much, when I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm pretty sure if the Bears just win these next 2 games, they win the North. But, instead of doing what I should have done and probably just Google it and confirm it or, just trust my own intuition, I decided to call Greg and just be like, hey, I just want to confirm this with you. And then he put me on blast on Twitter for it. So
be careful.
Yeah.
So he's going to put me on blast right now, I imagine. So if the Bears beat the Packers this coming week and the Steelers beat the Lions are eliminated from playoff contention. Is that correct?
I don't know if that, to be honest, I don't know if that eliminates the Lions. I know that it clinches a playoff berth for the Bears.
The Bears. Okay. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But yes, the Bears they will be in the email that the NFL sends out weekly this time of year.
It's good to be in that email.
Yes. Playoff clinching scenarios. The Bears will be listed as Bears can clinch a playoff berth with a win over the Packers and a Lions loss to the Steelers. And the simplest way to think about the North is if they just win the next 2 games, Johns, they beat the Packers and they beat the 49ers, they win the North because they'll be a game and a half up on the Packers at that point after winning on Saturday. By winning against the 49ers, you just run out of games. There's only 1 game remaining. So, or I think the other way is if they beat the Packers, then all they got to do is win one of those last 2 games. Essentially, just go 2-1 in these final 3, and you're good to go. And the other thing is you probably at least get the 2 seed. I don't know all the different scenarios for that, but the way it's shaping up, you win 2 more games, you win the North, you're probably going to at least get the 2 seed. And then there's other scenarios with how you can get the 1 seed. Big game for the Rams on Thursday night against the Seahawks, and I think Devontae Adams, I don't know if he's already been ruled out, but he might not be, ready for that one. So, yeah, this is fun in December. I think that's the biggest takeaway is that it's fun and it's different. And I saw a meltdown video of a radio station in Cleveland this morning, and it just felt a lot like this time last year, where you're just like, everybody needs to be fired, clean the whole thing out.
Yeah.
I thought Stefanski coached at times yesterday like somebody who's just like, all right, I'm
like Shedeur Sanders had the wrong wristband. He's challenging a ball down at the 1. Yeah, we've known that story. We've covered that story.
Yeah.
Although the armband's a new one.
Yeah. Well, what catch me up on the armband. I heard them mention it on the broadcast.
So early in the game, like it literally looked like Shedeur Sanders from my vantage in the press box took off his armband was like handing it to Stefanski in the sideline. And you're wondering like what's going on? It looked like he was taking out a card in it to update. I don't know. I know it became a story with the Browns, but hold on. If you want the real details, keep talking, and I'll. Our friend Zach Jackson, who was on the show last week, he was all over it.
So well, that can happen. It shouldn't happen, but you could.
Oh, that happens in like grade school football when the
part-time
coach,
you might have the plays flipped. You might have I don't know, some typos. Something's misnumbered. I did notice when I was watching film this week of the Browns, though, how that Sanders wristband was prominent, just even in the film, and you could see him checking it all the time. Caleb doesn't wear a wristband, but obviously it makes sense for some quarterbacks, and I'm not shocked Shedeur's using one. But yeah, when you're relying on the wristband and the wristband's not right, you're not going to be right as the quarterback. And that probably explains that mess of a situation at the 1-yard line to start the game for the Browns
early on. So my job for our grade school football team, since I work with the quarterbacks, was updating the armband with new plays, maybe changing lingo on old plays. But the crazy person inside me would check this thing like 3 or 4 times before we actually used it in the game. So to see it actually play out like this in an NFL game was just odd to see. So this is from Zach Jackson, our friend on the show from last week. This is from yesterday. Stefanski on the wristband change. Miscommunication. Said it's not accurate to say the Browns had the wrong plays. Got that fixed pretty quickly. Follows up later. Shedeur Sanders. The card just fell out.
It just fell out.
Just fell out.
Yeah. That's new. It's a new one. All right. Well, this is a Bears podcast, so sorry about that, Cleveland. Sorry you're punting on 4th and like 6 inches when you have nothing to lose. I guess except for the number 1 overall draft pick, which is probably why you punted. So congratulations. Yeah, that I'm sorry, John. Like, I'm just going to take a tiny victory lap here. All this talk of all week about this great Browns defense and Shedeur's sparking. And I get it coming from Ben Johnson. Like, that's the message you want to give to the team. But like, I honestly felt I picked the Bears to win comfortably, cover that spread comfortably, 7.5. I thought it was too low. And I still feel like an idiot that I didn't predict more of a blowout.
But you can't tell me when the Bears went up 14, They have the sack, the missed field goal by Cairo Santos, and then Shadur Sanders responds with a bomb deep in the Bears territory that you weren't thinking like, oh no, like I've seen this before. This is like the Saints game about to get very interesting.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like the Saints game in that you're letting them hang around too long. And that can come back to bite you. But I think you saw at halftime in the second half the evolution of what the Bears are compared to maybe what they were against the Saints earlier in the season, for them to, okay, we screwed around a little bit, maybe we played with our food a little bit, but we're gonna shut the door, we're gonna close this thing out in the third quarter, which is really what they did. So I think that showed the growth, that the difference in what the Bears have become over the course of this season. And the Browns are just heading in the exact opposite direction.
Well, it was a sack by Austin Booker on 3rd and 8 from the Bears 31 for a 9-yard loss. I think that fit your storyline. That was a dominant play in a key moment that took some life away from the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. And DeMarco Jackson's interception in the third, which he got a game ball from Ben Johnson. I couldn't remember. Was that his first game ball or now his second? I'm not tracking the game balls, which maybe we should be, considering these good, better, best videos.
Did he get one for the Saints game?
No, Dennis Allen got it.
Dennis Allen got it. Okay.
I mean, it would have only been in the last 4 games or whatever since he's been playing for Tremaine, but another, I mean,
he's
we
been
say
good.
that
DeMarco Jackson's been good.
Oh, I asked Lance Briggs in the middle of the game yesterday, I'm like, do you think this is sustainable? Because there's a scenario where this is just a 3rd round pick that was waiting for his opportunity and now he's in a better situation. And I mean, that's not completely unheard of. Wasn't Akeem Hicks a 3rd round pick?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of had to go to a couple different spots, found the right situation, the right opportunity, and all of a sudden, so I just don't think you can rule that out with what we've seen DeMarco Jackson do. Or still somewhat of a small sample size, but it's been good.
After the game, Jaquan Brisker described him as ugly, but in the most endearing way possible, with a huge smile on his face. And you could just tell the way DeMarco Jackson is playing, the way he's leading everything as the signal caller of that defense with the green dot in the back of his helmet. There are reasons to believe in him. And I think his teammates are kind of rallying behind them. The production is there. I'm sure the film is good. Can it be better? Yeah, he missed that tackle in Green Bay and Josh Jacobs along with 3 other teammates. But for a fill-in with low expectations, at least from the outside looking in, he's been a very good player for the Chicago Bears the past few games.
Yeah. Everyone in the comments saying that he also got a game ball against the Steelers when all the linebackers were out, which makes sense. That's what I thought. So, yeah, who would have thought that? D-Jack with multiple game balls. You know what we don't find out, though, a ton? I guess we could ask and probably find out. But Ben always references that, I got 2 game balls right now. It sounds like he gives out more on Monday mornings. Maybe after the film review. So
maybe that's the first question we have for him on Monday.
Yeah. And it was good to see DJ Moore get his game ball too. And then he took a shot at the defense. He said, we're going to kick your ass in practice this week. I love that.
I have one of my top likes from this game. I'll give it to you right here off the top. Is that 2 storylines heading into this game, ended on one play in the corner of the end zone. First touchdown to DJ Moore. The Bears getting off to a fast start. That was talked about extensively, I feel like, with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, Declan Doyle, and others in the locker room. And the Bears got off to a 14-point lead. That's a fast start. Success right there. And then DJ Moore's production. Didn't have the most catches on the team, but the 2 touchdown catches just shows you he has a place in this offense, in Ben Johnson's offense. So that was good to see.
We will go through our likes and dislikes and, of course, hear your voicemails later on in the show. Those should be good. Let's knock out this super chat, though. off the top. We got a $2 super chat from J Tank 1562 asking Johnsy, how is Cole Kmet that hit to the knee looked bad?
So Cole was all smiles in the locker room yesterday. He was asked specifically about it. He said it was a football play. Said he should be fine. Said it was his ankle, not his knee, which is well encouraging as opposed to what the opposite could have been. So I could get his quote exactly here if you want to talk about his value. I thought he had another good game, but yeah, he didn't seem to be too alarmed about what he's going to be dealing with. I mean, that's a tough football player who's played with different injuries. At first, when he got tackled, I thought it was his back because he's been dealing with the back issue, but it was his left ankle, and he said he's good to go.
Yeah, a couple things there. Like Cole plays through a lot. I know that there's been some questions here and there about like, hey, why did he go down after that catch? Or, why isn't he pushing for more yet? Just remember that he did miss a game earlier this season because of the back. This cold weather can't be great. He's always playing through stuff. I thought on this play in particular, and I just thought he got hit in the shin. At first I was worried, but Corey Wooten was sitting there going, I think he just took a shot to the shin, and trust me, that does not feel good. Woot said he got hit in the shin once, and he literally thought his leg was broken. And then like 2 minutes later, he was fine. And I'm sure in 0-degree weather or wind chill or whatever it ended up being, that does not feel good at all. No. So it sounds like Cole will be fine. Also, like people, he's interesting in that he didn't make that tough catch earlier in the game. I thought it was a great play by the defensive back to just knock the ball out of his hands at the last second. And so, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, some fans like get frustrated with that for not making a tough catch or, going down after a catch, whatever it is. And then, like, the second he gets hurt, though, did you see Ben Johnson, like, actually walk out there to, like, check on him? I just don't know how. I don't know if everybody realizes how important Cole Kmet actually is to this offense. Like, that's a guy they need to stay healthy, because not only can he be a safety valve and give you 2 or 3 big catches a game, and I thought he did run with better yak yesterday and run through, a couple tackles, especially that one like dump off in the flat down the near sideline. His importance in the run game, though, like that is just somebody you don't want to lose. So very good that he's okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for the quote specifically here. I'd have to go through all the transcripts that I have from yesterday here, but he basically described it as a football play.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
He'll be fine. No, he'll be okay.
He'll be good. Do we, because our next segment is going to be more like likes and dislikes from this game, should we talk a little bit off the top, because it's such a major story about what happened in Denver?
Sure.
Because that is a massive, like, season-altering injury that obviously has a big effect on the race in the North and obviously the Bears' next game, too, on Saturday night. But Packers lose last night to the Broncos. Apologies to the Broncos. I told them that if they won that game, there was a good chance. All right, I'm going to view you as a Super Bowl contender. So maybe it took a little bit longer for me to come around than I needed to. I thought Bo Nix
he was fantastic, man.
He's interesting, man, because he has. I was with a Broncos fan on Saturday night, Johnsy, who was like, he sucks. Like, a Broncos fan was telling me he sucks, and I'm like, okay, because like, yeah, sometimes I think the same thing. But then he has these games and these moments where I mean, I think Sean Payton probably deserves a lot of credit, and he's playing within that system and that offense. And, a lot of people want to try to replicate what Drew Brees did. And, well, Sean Payton is probably the most qualified to take somebody who's obviously not as good as Drew Brees, but make it look like that at times within that offense. So that was enough for me with that defense to be like, all right, if they can get the 1 seed, they can get home field in Denver in January. Although it was 67 degrees yesterday. Did you notice that? I turned that game on. Everybody's in short sleeves. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Meanwhile, we're like in 5 different layers here in Chicago.
Crazy.
Like my
But
thought
anyway,
on
I
that
went a
Sean
little.
Payton stuff. Sorry,
Yeah.
like Drew Brees didn't become Drew Brees until he reached Sean Payton with the second team in like year 5 of his career.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, this is me
give
trying
Bo
to.
Nix some time.
Yeah, Bo next time, and it certainly looks good at times too. But obviously the Packers losing Micah Parsons, which I don't know that's been fully confirmed as of this morning as we're live, but all the reports from last night is that the Packers certainly initial testing believed it to be a torn ACL. Which I mean, we just know this from watching that game last week. It just completely changes the complexion of that defense. They're still a good unit, but that pass rush is not going to be the same without that one guy you got to key in on the entire time. So, I mean, forget Saturday night's game. It clearly makes it you look at things differently there, but big picture wise, I'm wondering if I just need to drop the Packers out of my Super Bowl tier completely just because of that injury. Like that, it's hard for me to now picture them having that same type of defense on a playoff run without number one out there.
So yesterday I had a tweet about this being a great day for the Chicago Bears. That was in no means in regards to Micah Parsons' injury or the Christian Watson injury. It was more about the Bears moving up in the standings. The Lions losing, the Packers losing, Caleb Williams playing really, really well against a really good Browns defense. Those are reasons for a great day. But almost immediately, it got taken as, salt in the wounds of the Green Bay Packers. So at that point, as I tweeted that leaving Soldier Field, I had not seen the video of Micah Parsons' injury. I have now watched it 3 or 4 times. Those are the worst ones. The non-contact injury where he's just making a football move. Any player, they make a football move, and you see the instant agony, the pop, the feel, the pain. Those are the worst. Micah Parsons is what Ryan Pace would describe as a multiplier. Remember that description?
Oh yeah.
Like he multiplies the Packers defense by like 10, just in terms of what he could do in terms of wreaking havoc, causing damage, just being that darn good in so many areas. So this does change the complexion of the NFC North race, the NFC North, so the NFC in its entirety. It's tough. I hate covering like I dislike this is like the worst part of football. If I'm being honest,
injuries,
it's.
I mean, Mahomes tore his ACL year. It's brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, even though their season was over, that sucks.
Devontae, because that carries into next year.
Yeah,
this is a carry into next year for Micah Parsons. Like Christian Watson got hurt in the last game of last year at Lambeau Field, right against the Bears. Didn't return to the middle of this year, so that stinks. Especially when it's like the game's greatest players. Like I want to cover the game's best players, so this stinks.
Well, a few things on this, and we will get back to the Browns, but I think everybody's mind's sort of already on the Packers this week, which is fine. So we can cover that here at the top of the show. I was listening to the Packers radio broadcast on my way back from the studio. Wayne Larrabee, Larry McCarron, you could just tell. I didn't need to see the play. They were devastated instantly. Wayne was immediately like, "Those are the worst ones. The non-contact ones are the worst ones." He said that. And so, and then I got home and I watched basically most of the fourth quarter then by that point, and you could just tell that they weren't the same defense. Now, I will say this. That's got to be insanely deflating. Not to mention the momentum of the game was already going. It was already starting to flip before Parsons' injury. So I would have to imagine that as bad as it kind of looked the rest of that game, Packers will regroup. They'll have a better game plan by Saturday night, and it won't look as bad as it did, in the fourth quarter after that injury occurred. That also happens to be like Bo Nix time. He's amazing in the fourth quarter. You look at the Broncos EPA per drop back stats, they're like towards the bottom of the league in the first 3 quarters and top 5 in the fourth. And that's over a big sample size now, most of the season. So I'll tell you what, though, Johns, the injury, I'm not going to say that it matters more than Micah Parsons, but in this specific matchup, the one that sort of has my attention more is actually Christian Watson because of what he did to the Bears last week, too. And he went down first. And same thing. I'm in the car listening, and I'm like, oh, Watson just got hurt. And that didn't sound good either, the way they were talking about that. Now, the early update, I think, from Rap Sheet this morning is that he avoided a serious injury. Now, what that means for Saturday night, and can he turn around and play by then? Jaden Reed also went out late in that game, too, and I don't know the severity of that. But it was Zach Tom. I think one of the linebackers went out, too. They had a brutal game. Fly back from Denver and now are on a shorter week to play Saturday night. That injury report will be super interesting beyond just the Micah Parsons injury. And the Christian Watson one, to me, is also the type of injury that could decide the game.
Do you remember our conversation earlier in the year about how we can't, I think we're all guilty of underrating injuries that aren't quarterback related. Like everybody knows how a quarterback's injury affects everything, right? The ripple effect is immense, but I think the same applies to Micah Parsons, to a lesser degree to the receivers. Like these are premium positions that we're talking about with the Green Bay Packers. This is going to change things. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they rally behind their situation. They wouldn't be the first team to do it, but how long they could sustain that, that's the conversation the Green Bay Packers have to have, looking at these last 3 weeks.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have all week to kind of break down the game, obviously, and we will. Jordan Love obviously didn't play that great yesterday either. Broncos defense, I think fair to say, is better than the Bears defense. So there will be adjustments made. Game plans will be put together with what both teams have. And same thing goes for the Bears because we'll be tracking Roma Dunze's status, of course. We do need to take our first time out. When we come back, we will get our likes and dislikes, concentrate more on the Browns game from yesterday, kind of put that behind us. Voicemails coming up later on in the show as well. But first,
Adam, one touchdown can change everything. The crowd, the momentum, the game itself, it never gets old. DJ Moore did that yesterday. Feel the same rush with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. Here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Hoge Jahns. That's code Hoge Jahns. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms or responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
And let's be honest, December, this holiday season can feel stressful from a financial standpoint. So I'm going to give you guys a challenge going into the new year because Monarch has helped me a lot to feel more organized and confident in my finances with my family because it's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings all your accounts together in one clean interface on your laptop or on your phone to keep you in budget. You can categorize everything. And right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year with code CHGO at monarch.com. I had a notification from Monarch this morning. I still have to check that out, actually, because I just dove straight into the Caleb Williams film instead. But I know I can go back to Monarch, see exactly what the issue might be, and get it all cleaned up because that's how easy Monarch is to use. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code CHGO at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code CHGO. All right, Johnsy, time for our likes and dislikes. Rewatched the game last night before I went to bed. Got a whole list of things. You want to start?
I like how DeAndre Swift ran the football against the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
I don't know if we're giving him enough credit for the season that he's having. I think we all got excited about the possibility of the Bears drafting Ashton Genty, Travion Henderson, you name a running back. We talked about it at length heading into the draft. The Bears didn't do that. They took Kyle Monangai later in the draft. He's been good too, but DeAndre Swift is the Bears' number 1 back. And he looked like it against the Cleveland Browns. That second run that he had, have you watched the film of that one yet?
Yeah, which one?
The 17-yarder straight through the middle of the defense where 4 Browns had an tackle attempt on him.
Yeah, we kind of just weave through everybody.
Yes. Did you see what Myles Garrett does on that play?
I don't think I noticed that.
Do you think Myles Garrett gets yelled at for just standing there and watching that play unfold?
Well, he was probably mesmerized.
Or he thought his teammates had him, but at the same time, everybody the ball. He's literally standing there. And to the point where Ozzie Chapillo stops and he turns and thinks the play's over, but it's not. And here comes DeAndre Swift for another 15 more yards, all the way into the end zone. But great run there. I thought he had a great first touchdown run too in the first quarter. Just another solid game from DeAndre Swift, who I think deserves more credit for what he's doing this season for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I think you're probably accurate in saying that he's probably not getting enough credit for the season that he's having. So now I will say this too. I think we're also very happy with the rookie season Kyle Monangai's having. He's got to catch the ball better, man. I had him down for 2 drops on screens. One was worse than the other one, but those hands need to be better. But I like the smash and gash 1-2 punch they got going still. And Swift's been having a great year. My first I just liked how special teams boosted the Bears in the first quarter.
Sorry. Very on brand. But I fully embrace this because Devin Duvernay had a good day. That down punt at the 1, fantastic.
Yeah. But here's where I'm going to go with this because, and I don't disagree with what you said earlier in the show, overall to score 14 points in the first quarter does qualify as a fast start. However, and this is one of my dislikes, when you talk all week about having a fast start and you get a 52-yard kickoff return to start the game and then you go 3 and out, that's still not good enough. And you had a false start, which is not good. And that one of those Monangai drops I was just talking about on a wide, that screen would have popped. It was well blocked up. There was plenty of room to run, and Monangai just dropped it. So that was one of my dislikes. The 3 and out after talking about it all week. But special teams stepped up again because I don't know why we had to wait this long. And maybe I'm misremembering, but that felt like the first time we've gotten a Torrey Taylor punt down at the 1-yard line in 2 seasons. It feels that way. I might be wrong, but regardless, I think we can all agree. There haven't been many of them, and which is what's super weird about it is we see it all the time in training camp. Like both of the last 2 training camps, we see it all the time, and then it just hasn't translated over to games. And then that one was dicey because Blackwell almost touched it while he was in the end zone. Regardless, good play. Pinned them back. Browns were lost. Apparently wristbands were falling all over the place. They get Duvernay then has a nice punt return once the ball's kicked back to the Bears, and they get a do-over essentially, and they score 14 points. So, and my point is, I don't think the Bears offense really got the fast start that Ben Johnson was looking for on the first series, but special teams and the defense too to force a 3 and out. Little wristband helpage didn't hurt. Got the ball back to the offense. It turned out to be okay. Big boost. I thought that was just really well executed early on in the game. And overall, a really good special teams game, except obviously for the missed field goal from Cairo Santos.
That just looked like when you're on the fringe and you're just trying to be almost too accurate with it, and you completely just. I've been there, Cairo. Not on the football field, on the golf course.
I don't know if you guys got to talk to him in the locker room, but if you watch the replay, I think he was playing the right post because of the wind, and the flags were sort of tilted that way, but then they just like they weren't moving at all. I think the wind just might have died right when he kicked it. Not to make excuses. You got to make a short field goal like that. We'll point out though, and Kevin Fishbane had the stat. That was Cairo's first miss from inside 40 yards with the Chicago Bears. He was 84 for 84.
Is that good?
On field goal attempts.
I know.
Yeah.
Because
PATs are different. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. You got another like? You want to talk about Caleb Williams right now?
Sure. I've already gotten through the film. These are not final because I always go through it more than once and get insight on some things. But I will say this: that was easily the most accurate game I have tracked for him this season. Surprisingly, there were still some bad decisions I could get in a little bit. But accuracy-wise, I did not have him. No, I had him down for one inaccurate throw. There were a couple ones that I just marked as catchable, so not completely accurate, but catchable. The only inaccurate ball I had the entire game, Johns, was that the goal ball to DJ Moore that he severely underthrown. I don't know if the wind took it.
Oh, when he got hit?
I think he was a little bit late on it. Yeah. And
what about the one over the middle to OZ that was behind him a bit?
I marked that as catchable. It wasn't accurate. It hit him in the hands.
Yeah.
I also think there might have been a little bit of communication. Like, are you going to sit down or are you going to keep going? The linebacker was going this way, so I see why OZ kept going, but I don't know. Not an accurate pass, but also catchable. It hit him in the hands.
I'm willing to, like, I think Caleb will probably give himself a minus on that one because, like, if you've listened to him the past few weeks, he's talked about delivering runners footballs. That's how he's describing it. A runner's ball, and that was obviously behind OZ in that incident.
But on that topic, that one aside, that's what he did really good in this game. He gave a lot of passes that were thrown in stride so that they could be caught and run with. You know, whether that was to Loveland, whether that was to Cole Kmet, Luther Burden on a number of those. So I thought he executed those really well for the most part.
That one drop that Cole Kmet had, like, those are the plays where you just got to give the defender some credit as well because...
Yeah, I didn't mark that as a drop. It got knocked out of his hands. That's a good play.
I mean, that was an outstanding defensive play. In the moment, both those players falling to the ground, sometimes you have to give the defense some credit.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this, and this has not been a theme this season, but he got sacked 3 times. And let's say I would put 2.5 of them actually on Caleb. Maybe we settle on 2. First one, I just thought
long on that one.
Yeah, the timer just didn't go off fast enough for me. And you're close enough into the end zone, just throw it out of the back of the end zone. Like, there's got to be you could tell Cole came open like kind of underneath on a crosser, and he thought about it. And I think if he throws it, it's probably there. But you could tell that's when the timer started going off. Like, he's afraid it might get hit from behind. Okay, just launch it out of the back of the end zone then. Like, there's got to be an exit plan there.
I believe he had DeAndre Swift open in the right flat too as his check down option. I get in that moment he's probably thinking touchdown, then check down. But I thought that sack, that was Myles Garrett too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in that instance, you got to have a clock in your head where the game's best pass rusher, I can't hold the ball for 3 seconds here. He's going to get me.
Yeah. I had him down, I think, for 5 minuses the whole game, maybe 6, but 3 of them were on the sacks. The 4th down sack, I mean, I get that Cole Kmet wasn't first in the progression, but he's open in the flat that entire play. Like, at some point, you got to get there. And it just seemed like he just never did, and then he got sacked. And then the last one, I know it's 3rd down. It was 3rd and 15, and you're trying, you got to get 15 yards. But you had 2 checkdowns wide open underneath. Hit one of them, move on, game's over. Just, so maybe a little nitpicky, but it's really the first time all season that's been an issue consistently within a football game. Obviously, Myles Garrett's playing for the other team too, so it happens. Despite some of those plays, 9 straight completions at one point. The accuracy was awesome for most of the game. Most of his decision-making was fine. That was a really good game from Caleb Williams overall. I like some of the swagger. I like the cold celebration. I didn't really understand the soccer references, so I'm sorry about that. But
way over my head.
yeah, but cool. And I love the swagger in the post game. Matt Zahn's trying to be like, hey, was that actually a good decision? The touchdown to DJ Moore, the hero ball, which you wrote about, becoming diehard. And
so Matt Zahn, our friend from Channel 2, was actually quoting Cole Kmet in that instance, because Cole Kmet made the joke afterwards in the locker room when he was asked about that play. He goes, some people may call that ill-advised or something, but then he goes in and compliments everything that Caleb Williams can do, because he's not like most quarterbacks. I like the swagger too. That was one of my likes. Not only about what was his answer? Was that throw ill-advised? No, I can make every throw.
Yeah, he goes, I can make every throw. I love that answer.
I love it. But also at the end, did you hear his answer to the end about the play action stuff?
I'm not sure if I got there, honestly.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up.
Okay.
Because I thought this was good too. So he was asked about his passer rating on play action plays in this game. Of course, he was outstanding. Play action has become a great part of the Bears' offense this year under Ben Johnson, and here's his answer.
Feels like every play is play action now, by the way. It's just like play action screen, play action rollout, flood to the right. Like, it's crazy.
So here is Caleb Williams' answer. Where did it go? Lost it. On play action. Yeah, I was told I couldn't get under center and turn my back to the defense. I don't know. I think the guys up front, they do a hell of a job for me, and it all goes into it, whether it's the run game, pass game, play action, keeper, all of it goes into the sense of we try to make, he's kind of rambling here, but he started taking advice. So anyway, I'm rambling here. I like that he opened up his answer with, I was told I couldn't get under center and turn my back to the defense. Obviously taking shots at some of the criticism that he's been receiving.
Good for him. I don't know if anyone said he couldn't. It was just a fair question. Can he? Because he never really did it. But I feel it.
Yes.
I feel it. I like it. I like it. And shout out to the iceberg in the comments saying more people need to hit like on this video. That's true. 1,300 people watching. Because we do hitting the like button's free. It takes half a second, and it just helps the algorithm push the video to other people, maybe other Bears fans. And we also learn on these live shows that a lot of people that stumble upon it maybe aren't subscribed. So please hit the subscribe button as well. It helps grow the channel. And we appreciate all the love and support on that one. Can we get? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
All right. I like the angle that our friend Jeff Weiras got on the. So Jeff works. He's a cameraman for Fox 32,
and a great guy.
Have you seen the angle?
I saw you retweet this morning. Yeah,
it's the best view that I've seen on the second touchdown from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore. I retweeted it. Check it out on my timeline at Adam Johns if you don't follow me. It's the best view. I mean, look at this beautiful pass.
So, check it out on Johnsy's Twitter account. But like sometimes as a photographer, you just happen to be in the right spot, the right time. But then you got to execute the shot, right? And so Jeff just happened to be right behind where that ball ends up. It literally looks like the ball is being thrown to the camera. And then right at the last second, DJ jumps up and catches it. John's from I don't know what your angle was from the press box, or from the TV angle. And I'm sure a lot of fans watching this right now will agree with me. It looked like that pass was intercepted. And like almost like DJ Moore purposely faked everybody out. Like, oh, I didn't catch it. And then he just spins the ball. And then the same thing on the Jalen Johnson interception later. I thought that was a touchdown. And then all of a sudden, Jalen was like, no, I got it.
So my vantage point in the press box, like you see Caleb Williams roll to his right. He's approaching the sideline. But we all saw DJ Moore pop open. Like he was open for a bit's probably stretching it, but you get my point. Like he's open.
But it's like the OZ. I watched the film this morning.
Yeah.
It's like the OZ play in Philly where Caleb tried to get there and it's just not really part of the normal progression. But you're right. In the same way that OZ popped open in Philly, DJ pops open early on that. It's just not really how the play is designed to go there that fast.
He's like the last read on the play. DJ Moore wouldn't confirm that because he's like, I'm not sure, but I'm one of the last reads on that play. I like that Caleb Williams had the guts, the belief in himself to try that throw in that moment. The Bears had some momentum. DeMarco Jackson's interception was the previous play. And the touch, the accuracy, just the confidence to let that ball go when your feet aren't even set. It was an exceptional throw, an outstanding play, an even better catch and concentration probably from DJ Moore in the back of the end zone.
But that's the next level of when you have a superstar quarterback that reaches superstar status. And I'm not saying Caleb's there, but that's where these guys, they get that swagger and that confidence to make some of those throws. And by the way, some of them are going to be intercepted. Like, even if Caleb does get to that point, I watched Josh Allen throw a chest pass a few weeks ago straight to the defense, where it's like, if you're not Josh Allen, that's one of the dumbest plays anybody's ever seen. But when you get to that, part of that risk and reward is getting to that point where you have the confidence to make those throws because you know you have the God-given ability and can make it. And there's going to be good players on the other team that make you regret it sometimes. But that's sort of the next step in the evolution. And then him also earning that trust from Ben to be able to do that and live and die by it sometimes.
How many times have we seen Aaron Rodgers make throws that just seem to pass through human beings?
Mm-hmm.
In all seriousness, like just a throw that has eyes itself that somehow weaves through traffic and right into his receiver's hands and like in the corner of the end zone. I'm obviously overstating what some of these passes have done, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, the best quarterbacks have that belief in themselves and the trust in their receivers to make those difficult plays, and they're going to let those passes go because they could do those types of things.
Yeah.
I like the guts that Caleb Williams had in that moment to let that ball go.
A couple other likes, and I have 2 dislikes. I'll go through these fast. One, whatever it is with DJ Moore, like, this is not hard-hitting analysis. I'm going to warn you, but the Bears' offense is better when DJ Moore is producing. So whatever it is that's been holding them back, chemistry, play calling, usage, like, I don't know, his own production, perhaps effort at times. Whatever it is, I keep saying I think it's a little bit of all of the above. But when it looks like yesterday, that's what the Bears need. Because this offense is better when DJ Moore is producing. So I liked that it looked how it's supposed to look yesterday.
I like that Ben Johnson called a play that didn't work in practice and that he had enough faith and trust in his players to execute it against the Browns. That first touchdown to DJ Moore didn't work in practice the past couple of days. As Caleb Williams explained after the game, players ran into each other. It's a mesh concept. There's a lot of traffic going through a tight area because you're in the low red zone. But against the Browns and man-to-man defense, it was executed perfectly. DJ Moore was wide open heading to the left corner of the end zone.
That was a great throw from Caleb. Great touch, accuracy from the opposite hash. Not as easy as he made it look.
It's really cool when you're in the press box and you see those plays develop and like, oh, he's wide open and the ball is delivered on time. We haven't covered a lot of this with the Chicago Bears, so it's kind of cool to see.
I also want to shout out the crowd because even though I wasn't in the stadium, I could tell, even just watching back last night too, with the sound on a little bit higher. Shout out to the crowd because Ben shouted them out. Kevin Byard shouted them out on Twitter. I saw, but Ben mentioned post game like that they affected the quarterback, and that's why I asked Kevin Byard earlier this week about the fact that you're getting 3 of your last 4 games at home and trying to use that home field advantage to go to navigate a pretty, like, these last 3 games are going to be hard, but you get 2 of them at home. And with the weather the way it was, I was out at the tailgate. I actually made it to the tailgate, John Z, yesterday. And
Let me look at
people,
that picture.
I'm in there. I promise.
It's like,
The
where's
tent was
Waldo?
clutch, but also like I don't know. It really wasn't that. I know that still went down as one of the coldest games ever, but there's been colder.
Well, the sun makes a difference.
Yeah,
I'm probably guilty of overrating the impact the weather would have on this game, especially offensively. Because once the momentum was clearly on the Bears' side, and they were hot, they were moving that ball with ease.
I thought it was more of an emotional component rather than. It's just, I remember saying this like in my prediction, like which team wants to play in this crappy weather more? Is it the team that's ready to pack up and go home for the winter, or the team that's trying to chase down the Packers? You know what I mean? Like, and that just set up to be exactly how it played out from an emotional standpoint, a motivational standpoint, with that cold weather.
I like that the Bears afterwards were willing to acknowledge that reality truthfully, where if we got the lead on the Cleveland Browns and we were physical, we were playing well, we had the momentum, that the Browns wouldn't want to play in this weather. I think that showed, even though later, they moved the ball a little bit. Here's my final like. I like that the Browns didn't score at the end.
You know what? I was kicking myself last night because I forgot to bring that up on our post-game show. But in the moment, I was like zeroed in on the TV, like locked in. And I felt like the defense was locked in.
Yes.
That it was like, this is the Super Bowl. We're not letting them score here.
Yeah. I like that mindset. Like,
yes.
I mean, yes, they were like playing softer coverage and letting the completions happen in the middle of the field. Like there were a bunch of checkdowns to end the game. The ball's being moved. But then at the end, they went after Shadur Sanders. Good. I like that. Don't let them score. Don't give them an easy touchdown. Make it hard on the rookie quarterback. Have some pride in what you're doing. I love it.
And that's despite the fact that it would have made my prediction look better because I predicted the Browns would score 13. Too bad.
Yeah.
3 looks better on the scoreboard. It's 31-3.
It does.
All right. The one dislike that we have to get to, and probably should have earlier in the show, to be honest with you, but obviously nothing to like about the fact that Rome Odunze gets scratched right before kickoff after being active and, as the team put it, re-aggravated the stress fracture or aggravated the foot injury. That's twice in 2 weeks. Like, I hope it's not that big of a deal. And I obviously see both sides of it. And like Ben Johnson's whole mentality all week is this game matters. We have to win, all this stuff. On the other end of it, like you got to thread the needle sometimes with this stuff because the next 3 games matter more. Divisional games just do matter more. The 49ers are a playoff team in your conference, so that matters more. And I don't know. I just hope that they didn't lose Rome longer term because they were like, oh, we need them so bad for this game where the ground is rock hard and the weather's cold. It just didn't seem like great conditions to be stressing a stress fracture, put it that way.
I imagine that when Rome Odunze took the field in that type of cold, like he probably felt it more than others because there's a broken bone in his foot.
You know what's interesting too is John's right before like that news came out, Corey Wooten had just talked about on our pregame show, because we're trying to ask him about playing in that type of weather and like what's the toughest part of it. And he had just gotten done saying, for the most part, you adapt to it, your body's fine. But keeping your feet warm is the hardest part because you're wearing cleats. You can't layer up with socks and, all-weather boots that are insulated. Like you're wearing cleats and you have hand warmers and all this stuff, but like there's only so much you can do with your feet. And so keeping your feet warm is the hardest part. And I think who was it even during the week? Was it Byard or Caleb that was talking about how warm-ups is the worst part? It's like once you're in the game and you're in the flow of the game and the adrenaline's going, but it's like warm-ups, you're like, I don't know. We'll have to see where that goes, but I don't think anybody would have been upset if they were like, even if they made the last second decision, you know what, we're thinking twice about this. We're just going to hold him out. But the fact that he actually aggravated it is what's concerning.
Well, that's how the Bears themselves described it
Mm-hmm.
in the message to the media. Ben Johnson speaks today at 3 p.m. locally here in Chicago. I'm sure he'll have more information. Didn't really give much yesterday after the game. There was a question in the chat about this being the similar injury. Is this the same injury that Rome Odunze has been dealing with all year? No, it is not. That was a heel injury, correct? This is a more of a stress fracture injury.
It could be the same thing, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe it's in the back of the foot. Maybe.
I don't know.
So yeah, here we are.
All right. Now,
I mean, we also forget about Luther Burden.
I know. I was watching that on film this morning. It didn't look that bad. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, did he look explosive. He is so good with the ball in his hands.
Like, I hope it's just a low ankle sprain because it kind of just twisted. But the fact that he didn't come back, just hope it's not something else, you know?
But at the same time, like, this is where I think the score starts to matter.
Yeah, sure.
Because Jalen Johnson only played, 22 snaps? 23 snaps?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, yes, get him off the field. Let's get him to the Green Bay game as healthy and as ready as possible.
Now, I do have kind of a funny story before we take our last break and then go to the voicemails that has to do with the Rome thing. Okay. So I don't know how many people were affected by this, but the Rome update, I checked my text messages, came in at 11:55. Most fantasy lineups lock 5 minutes before kickoff, right? So in my league, and I know I've talked about this before, Johnsy, whoever finishes in last place in fantasy football earns this very sad bear award. It's just a sad bear.
It says a loser
and this thing's like heavier than the Stanley Cup. This very creepy clown. Now, why do I have these two things? Because I finished in last place in my fantasy football league last year. So they've been sitting in my office all year. Well, I have Rome Odunze on my fantasy team. Now, fortunately, I was kind of in contention for the Sad Bear Award, but really because of points, it wasn't going to be me. But there were 3 other teams that were up for the Sad Bear yesterday, the last game of the regular season in our league. And because of the late scratch, I was unable to take Rome out of my lineup because they had already locked at that point. I couldn't do anything. And I ended up losing. I don't have it in front of me. Dak Prescott's last completion last night, which was like garbage time, didn't matter at all. They're down 9. I ended up losing my fantasy matchup by point. Let me just look this up. 0.3. I lost by 0.3 on that last completion to the person that would have gotten the Sad Bear / creepy clown in our league. But instead it went to somebody else because they got that last second completion from Dak Prescott to beat me, who had Rome Odunze in my lineup and got a big 0, which, by the way, I still have to pay a $20 fine in our league for that.
For finishing last.
No, for starting somebody who didn't play.
Oh.
That's a little loophole where it's really not my fault, but I'll pay up. It's fine. It happens. I like these little rules and intricacies that we have. But yeah, that was it was a very entertaining end to that saga playing out at like 11:59 in the morning before a noon kickoff and finishing the NFL Sunday with literally the last pass of the day. Those 2 moments being, linked to result in our friend Drew, who lives in the Milwaukee area. I I think I might just drive this to his house today because I cannot wait to get it out of my house. It's been sitting here for a year now.
Show that
Thought
again.
people-
Closer so people could read the what's on there. Cowboys
so-
and Cocktails Fantasy Football League loser. The Sad Bear Award.
It says you are a loser. And the names are actually written on the back here, but for some reason, nobody's actually had the guts to write their name on here since 2018. So, yeah. This used to be the only thing, but then somewhere along the way, like 3 years ago, someone found this, like, I'm not even going to pick it up again. It's seriously like 50 pounds. This creepy clown thing, like at a yard sale. And they're like, I'm buying that, and that's also going to be part of it.
Where is it? Do you still have? No, you don't have it? You have it?
The clown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a good point here. Weren't you supposed to have this in the background?
There's the clown. There it is.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, sorry for those listening on Spotify or whatnot, but Adam Hoge is now holding a clown on camera.
I did not. The show, it's a great question. The show thing was actually a bonus. I'm supposed to have, the rule is, because I'm the only one in our fantasy league that has a show. So it's not like you have to display it on the show all year. You're supposed to have it in a prominent place in your house. Now, I will say I have visited the house of somebody else in the league and found that this thing was behind a door, hidden. I thought that was questionable. I took this into our CHGO studios and put it on the table one day as a good faith and gesture, but no, it was not going to be there all year. The Sad Bear has been behind my background all year, but not necessarily like right here.
Yeah.
Where you could see it the whole
In
time.
view.
So, and this guy has been here in my office. So if anybody came in our office, which is also our guest bedroom, to be honest with you. So if you've had to sleep at our house at any point in the last year, this creepy thing has been in your bedroom. Good times. All right, we need to take our last time out and do our voicemails if we can. Anyway, I thought people would enjoy it. Sometimes fantasy football, Johnsy, results in some good fun stories.
It should. It's supposed to be fun.
As long as you're not on the losing end. And fortunately, that game didn't matter for me at all. Because that would have been a brutal way to miss the playoffs on Roma Dunze getting scratched in the last second. All right, we'll take our last time out. Your voicemails are coming up next. But first, Johnsy, there is still time to get one of the best gifts you can possibly give here. It's a last-minute lifesaver. And a lot of us, too many of us, are last-minute shoppers like myself.
This guy.
And you know the feeling. Those shelves start to empty out. The stores are packed. Well, just go check out Aura Frames right now, because this is a digital frame that actually looks good in your house. It's stylish and it's so easy to use with the Aura app. I could take a photo right now and send it directly to our frame that we have, or if you're giving this gift to somebody else, you have access to just send photos of your kids. If it's a family member or that always wants to see what's going on, you can just send it that fast, and you can upload unlimited photos and videos. So check it out for a limited time. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com. You'll get $35 off their best-selling Carver matte frame, which was named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code CHGO at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code CHGO. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and those frames are selling out fast, so order yours now so you can get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning Hoge Jahns at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Adam, winter is here, from Christmas parties to Christmas plays, from hockey games to basketball games. It can be tough to make those home-cooked meals. So that's why I love Factor. Their chef-prep, dietitian-approved meals make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious, no matter how hectic the season gets. Choose from a wide selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp. And for the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. Eat smart at factormeals.com/CHGO50off and use code CHGO50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code CHGO50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchases.
Monday's always the most clutch day for Factor. Up early watching the film. Going to run downtown here after we get done with this show. There's no time to get a big lunch.
Grab and go.
It's healthy. It's good. Fills you up. Takes 2 minutes. Love it. All right. Also love your voicemails. As always, it is that time. 224-725-3046. Save the number. We'd love to hear from you in any of these remaining games. Pre-game, in-game, post-game. Our voicemail line has been a staple of the show for a long, long time. It's been a victorious voicemail line for most of the season. Again, 224-725-3046. Here are your voicemails put together by our awesome producer, Katie, from the Bears win over the Browns.
Hello?
Do you know who this is?
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
The Hoge Jahns voicemail. The Hoge Jahns voicemail line.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep.
Got any questions or comments about the Bears? Give the guys a call before, after, or even during the game.
Go Bears!
Foggy Cat, Johnsy Babe. This is All Business Bob calling in live from Denver, CO. That's right. For the first time in my life, I'm not at the Bears game because I'm serving the greater good. I'm out here scouting the Packers. The Bears are taking care of business. It's 14-0, halftime in Chicago. I'm here to watch the Packers. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Let's take care of business today, finish this game up, and then we go and we gut the Packers like hogs next week. Let's go, Chicago Bears. Bear down.
What's up, Hogan John? Sean here. I'm still fighting for my life after that Packers game. I'm barely recovered yet, so I really need this one. I would prefer just an absolute domination today to make me feel, any sort of confidence going into next week to hopefully beat the Packers. Hopefully, please. But starts with the Browns. Let's go. Bear down.
Are you kidding me with these drops? Caleb Williams is dropping absolute dime. Should be 21-0 at half. What's going on here? I love him.
Hey, Hogan Johns, first-time caller here, Ty. Safe to say, the first half, looked good at first, but I'm a little nervous, not going to lie. It's hard to not be nervous. Seems like Cairo can never get over this little hump of his, and Caleb's limping off the field. We'll see what happens with all that. And going into Green Bay next week, a little frustrated. I mean, obviously it's nice to be up 14-0, but it feels like this game should be a lot bigger of a blowout than it actually is.
Every person that complains about Caleb Williams' completion percentage needs to watch that first half. Love the shutout. Let's keep going. A bear down.
Ooh, Jackson! Mr. 4-8 with the pick. Let's go! Bear down!
Go DJ. That's my DJ. Go DJ. That's my DJ. What a throw and what a catch. Bear down.
Hi, boys and Katie. ODK, baby. Firing on all cylinders. Bear down.
I thought that throw by Caleb was intercepted. DJ touchdown. I thought that throw to Jerry Jeudy was a touchdown. Intercepted. Let's go. Bear down.
This is Pastor Kevin. Oh, I was worried coming into this game after losing the Packers last week, but Swift, Moore, Caleb, bear down.
Bears looking good again, surpassing everyone's expectations this year. You show me a GM that knows how to find a defensive line, I'll show you a Chicago Bears Super Bowl team.
Hello, Adam and Katie. This is Matt calling from Los Angeles. First-time caller, long-time listener. And I just want to thank the Bears for the gift of a low-stress game, finally. It took all this time, but we finally have a low-stress game. Bear down.
It's hard to be bothered by the cold weather when you have ice water in your veins.
Hell yeah! That's how that game should have gone, baby. 10 wins, bear down. Let's get Green Bay. Let's go, let's go.
Hey, Bears fans, B-Man here. We finally took care of a team we're supposed to. Now it's time to focus on the Packers. The Packers suck, and the Bears can go to the next Super Bowl. Bear down!
Hey, girls, we just watched the Bears beat the Browns.
Go, Bears!
Good, better, best.
Good, better, best.
Never let it rest.
Never let it rest.
Till your good gets better.
Till your good gets better.
And your better gets best.
And your better gets best.
Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Bears!
Next week, we'll watch the Bears beat the Packers.
Go, Packers! Go, Bears!
Love the voicemails. And I think it's, just very noble of Bob to go to Denver where it was 67 degrees yesterday instead of Soldier Field. Just really took one for the team there to scout the Packers.
I can't believe we've gotten this far in the podcast and have not talked about the pigeons.
That is I think we have to start the show over.
Yeah,
that's a bad job by us.
What are we doing here?
I even tweeted about the pigeons again this morning because they're all over the film. They had the extra over the top coverage. Caleb identified it. He's like, Burden's running straight in the pigeons. I got Loveland coming over to the corner. We're going to the Colston.
You could use them to your advantage. There are some players getting visibly annoyed with the pigeon situation.
I think that's why they were removed at half. No, I mean, they were removed at halftime, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. I love the pigeons.
The stadium's running a pigeon cam. I know they're all over the broadcast at some point. I feel proud of myself for, was I the first to take notice of the pigeons?
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of the Bears Sea for a long time. Yes. Thank you, Johnny.
Johnny said Johns deserves a Pulitzer for his pigeon coverage.
All over it. All over. It was fun. Like, honestly, like it's a fun little storyline to follow and track as they move from, like back and forth, with the play. But there were multiple times where I thought one of those pigeons was about to get run over or hit by a football.
I mean, I was worried, though, at one point they might be Packer spies. The fact they were they were too close to the huddle. Like they could, if one of those pigeons was hooked up with a microphone and they're you could probably hear Caleb's play calls in the huddle. That's how close at one point they were to the huddle. It just made me a little nervous. Got to be careful with pigeons. You don't know what they're up to.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to Deshaun right after the game. I'll catch up with him this week. Different media schedule this week at Halisaw because of the Saturday game. But at one point, he was kicking at the pigeons because they were right behind him. It's a hazard. You could trip over a pigeon who won't, like a Chicago pigeon, as you said on Twitter, are very stubborn. They will not move for anybody,
especially in the winter. They do not give an F if you're there. And I tweeted this. If you've been on a CTAL platform, especially where they like to hang out because a lot of them are covered, the heat lamps are right. Like that's the great point. Like the heat lamps, and that shouldn't have not bad. I don't know enough about birds. Aren't they like? Do they matter? Do they care about the heat? But in the winter, they seem to be huddled up in the booths where the heat. They have CTA provides the heat. They're like right there, and they will box you out for space in there.
They are not afraid whatsoever. Those pigeons were bold.
Yeah.
They grew a number 2. It started as 3. A 4th guy came flying in there.
Started recruiting more pigeons. Hey, we got great seats. Come on out. Fly on in.
Yeah.
Reason 9,000 for a roof on the stadium.
Yeah, the sand is good here. Whatever they were eating in the field.
Yeah, that's what the treatment.
I love that you saw them on the broadcast, and I love that you saw them later, like on the All-22 film.
Oh, it's hilarious. They just there's these moments where it almost looks like a bird explosion. Like, because the route gets run in the right way, and all of a sudden they're like, psh.
Yeah, salute the bird and play.
Yeah. It's good stuff. All right. I encourage the pigeons to return Saturday night, just for my own entertainment. I'm sure the fine folks at Soldier Field disagree, but you can't get a 12 man on the field penalty if it's a pigeon. So just get some extra pigeons on the back end of the defense, get in the way, getting the heads of these wide receivers for the Packers. Maybe getting Jordan Love's head a little bit. Could you imagine if there was just one that like Jordan Love's in shotgun and this pigeon is between him and the center? Just distracting him,
eating.
Like that would be next level.
Whose punt was it? It was the punt late in the first half where I thought we were going to get the Randy Johnson situation.
Yes. It was the one that almost looked like that the ball hit the Browns player.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a pigeon flying up in the air or something.
Yeah. Or even just the players running through, because those pigeons weren't going exactly high either to evade everybody.
That's another one. Like, let's get the pigeons to block a punt Saturday night. You don't want Torrey Taylor's punt hit by a pigeon, but if it's the Packers punt, just a little tip.
Yeah.
Maybe on a field goal.
Man, if there's like 6 or 7 pigeons on the field on Sunday night. We do need to ask.
Right.
I don't know how they got out of there. They were struggling to get. Someone picked them up.
Probably.
Wash your hands.
I know, right? Put some gloves on and
throw those out. Burn them.
Mm-hmm. All right. We got to get out of here.
Well, we got 2 quick super chats. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about those. My bad. We do have supers. NBA rookie action, $5 with a good question. Any idea for the front runner of the JD award this year? This is the Jeff Dickerson Good Guy Award that the media votes on every single year, given to the Bears player, coach, executive. Really, it could be anybody in the organization that best helps the media cover the team and bring this type of pigeon insight to Chicago Bears fans everywhere.
Actually, we do know the front runners, but I feel like our good friend Patrick Finley might kill us if we reveal who the 2 players are.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Have I missed some emails? I haven't had a chance to vote yet.
No, the voting's we're on to the second round. Voting is due Wednesday. You've definitely missed some emails.
Oh, he is. No. Pat is going to get a phone call from me. Because I didn't miss an email. I don't think I'm on the. Check those emails right now. Am I on it?
Aren't you one of the PFW representatives?
Yes, I've been organizing the award.
All right, hold on.
I'm behind the scenes making sure that Jeff Dickerson's amazing parents, George and Sandy, are going to be able to attend the ceremony again this year.
I'm going through all the emails.
And I'm being blocked out from the voting.
I do not see. I don't see your name on here.
Investigate.
I see reporters on here who no longer cover the team.
Right.
But you are not included on here.
Okay.
I will say there are some very good candidates. I don't mind saying who my 2 votes were for. It was for Kevin Byard and DeAndre Swift. I think they've talked after every single game, win or lose, and they're always available in the locker room for whatever story you're working on. So those were my 2 votes.
There you go. So hopefully that doesn't influence the odds on DraftKings, but no, I don't think you can gamble on that one. I think I look. I don't. Apparently, I don't even have a vote anymore. I think I know who the winner's going to be, though. And I don't think anybody will be shocked by it. I'll just say that. So,
all right, one more
good question though. Yeah. Anthony Tranchita. Hogue, Pluto is a planet. R.I.P. Grobber. Have we heard how long Christian Watson is out for? Bear down. If anybody doesn't understand that reference, it's just old 6'7" in the score. Grobber probably calling me Adam Hogg and then going on a rant about Pluto being a planet. I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. It's one of the greatest things.
Classic.
That and the 3 technique. We mentioned it earlier on in the show. We do not know how long Christian Watson's out for, but the early news this morning from Ian Rappaport was that it's not a serious injury. So he did go to a hospital, so there was some concern there, but he ended up flying back with the team last night. So Now, could he still be out by on Saturday night? Sure, I don't, but we'll have to find out. Injury report will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week.
Tomorrow, starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Now I doubt these teams are going to practice all of those days, but because even last week the Bears didn't practice on Wednesday. It is going to be warmer on Saturday night. I don't know if you saw that.
40 degrees.
40s. And I would just say this. It's a Saturday. It's more like a college football Saturday than a Sunday. It is probably, if I had to guess right now, because despite some of the weather and the elements we've had this year, we've had a couple really, really good tailgates. I would have to imagine this will be the best one in CHGO history. And Braggs is already threatening people that if they don't come, there will be consequences. Go to our events page, though, at allchgo.com. Highly recommend. Greg puts in a ton of work, and so do a lot of other people. Jake, a couple guys on our sales team, Jim Cook, Chris Pankow. They're always a lot of people go into these tailgates. And yesterday to have the tent with the weather the way it was amazing. It's a great experience, so go check it out. It's the corner of Cermak and Wabash if you've never been to one, if you're coming to the game. I'm probably going to go down there and spend as much time as I have at one of these tailgates this week, just because being a Saturday and it being a night game. I'll get down there early. Should be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a perfect night for football.
Yeah. Love it. I don't know about perfect, but I mean, perfect would still be like 70 for me. But yeah, in December, 43 degrees or whatever, as long as there's no precipitation, should be a great time. Should be a great game. It's Packer week. We will be here as normal Wednesday and Friday to break it all down for you for a Saturday game, Saturday night football between the Bears and Packers. So make sure you're locked in. Hit that like button, subscribe. Podcast is available everywhere you get your podcasts too. So please subscribe in both spots, whether you consume it on YouTube or Spotify or Apple, wherever, or both. All of the above is great. We appreciate the support. You can become a diehard by using code Jahns, Jahns, to read all of our content, including Johns' post-game column, and we'll have our insider analysis column together on Wednesday morning as well.
Yep. All there.
Wednesday is when we're back with you. Full-on Bears-Packers conversation. Should be a lot of fun. We'll talk to you then.
See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.